Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Good morning, everyone. This is your Captain, John Regan. Be sitting in for Vincent today. He's all right. Just want to let you know that he is a farmer, and there are things that need to be done in getting ready for winter. Especially repairing some of the damage that happened this year with, the fencing and roads and things like that. And, given the way the summer's going, it's a lot easier doing that work during the morning hours while it's still cool, rather than waiting until after the show. So I'm stepping in and helping out while he gets that work done. Otherwise things will go on as normal. We'll have meet up Monday, and, if everybody's all set, make sure. Do we have Dr. Shealy with us? I guess we're still working on that. And we've got a call-in line, 1-866-582-9933. We also have a listen live line, 605-562-4080. Okay, we have Dr. Shealy now. Good morning.
Yes, John.
Live radio, so much fun.
Hey, it's lucky that things work at all in the world today.
Well, that was the thing when I was working my undergraduate degree in computer science. They made us take a class that was actually a double E course where you design the circuits. And after going through that, it's kind of like, wow, how do these things work at all?
Every time I'm on a plane, I stop thinking about computers that fail frequently. Oh, dear. Well, what's up new?
Oh, man, is it hot here in Dallas? We've hit that part of summer where you get those 100-degree days, and this weekend the coolest day is going to be 106, and that's not the heat index.
Right. Well, fortunately, we've passed, I think, the prime. We may have half a dozen more 90s, and that's one of the reasons I somewhat prefer the Ozarks.
Well, this might be a good chance for you to remind people what you should do during these hot days of summer to make sure you stay hydrated and replenish your electrolytes.
Well, of course, it really is important to drink lots of fluid. I've worked the last 4 days in my garden 2 hours each day in the heat of the sun, and I lose about 3 pounds of water. Now, 3 pounds of water, folks, is like at least 6 glasses of water. And it takes 6 to 8 glasses for me to rehydrate when I come in out of the sun. And that means you have to drink more than your usual amount of water. The usual amount of water should be your weight in pounds divided by 2. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water. But if you are not living in air conditioning, you need to up that significantly. Every pound of sweat requires another 2 glasses of water.
It's also more than water, too.
Of course.
We sweat out our salt. We got
Well, you need a little bit of salt, and of course I strongly prefer the pink Himalayan salt because it has 3% trace minerals in it, which regular table salt does not. So you get some of the trace minerals by using the pink Himalayan salt. Regular sea salt does not have those trace minerals either.
And, of course, we also need to make sure we got enough magnesium.
Well, that's true all year. 80% of people are deficient in magnesium. And cattle farmers know that if they don't provide magnesium in the feed or as a lick for their cattle, they die of something called grass staggers, which is sort of like epilepsy. And yet vegetable and fruit farmers do not put magnesium in the soil. And it's been now known for 40 years that the produce in your grocery stores is highly deficient in vitamins and minerals because it's raised on crummy soil.
And it was so interesting for me to find out that veterinarians knew back in the 60s that ulcers were caused by a bacteria, and it took until the 90s for medical doctors to figure out the same thing for humans.
Well, and most of them still don't pay attention to it. And yet, the interesting thing is that 50% of people cultured have H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori, which is the bacteria you're talking about, in their stomach. But only half of those, about 25%, get a peptic ulcer. So once again, it comes back to stress and the total immune system as to whether or not you break down when you've got a problem like that.
While we're talking about heat, we're also seeing where some of these subtropical diseases are now making it into the southern parts of the United States. And that got me to thinking, once we get to that point where we get into this post whatever's going to happen environment and we don't have our usual medical resources there, and we can't even get online to order things, what happens, or what can we do when we run across things like, say malaria or dengue fever, these things that are starting to creep in?
Well, obviously you need to have on hand lots and lots and lots of bleach, or I prefer Nixol, which is a lot simpler and safer to use. It's sort of a modified compound, and it works just as well. But you also need to have, it just brings to fore, to be prepared. You need to have stocked up minimum of months of whatever you are taking as a regular supplement. And that just brings me right up to the most important point about supplements, John. Last weekend, a 31-year-old grad student from the University of Missouri, whom I've known since he was an undergrad, dropped by to visit. And he had seen his physician recently for what was diagnosed as eczema of his fingers. And he had this cracked, rashy stuff on the tips of every one of his 10 fingers. He said it was on his toes too, but I didn't look. And I looked at it and I said, well, Scott, are you taking a B complex? No, I don't take anything. We eat organic. Yes, Scott. Well, 100 and some odd years ago, the daily requirement of B1, 2, and 3 was fairly low, 1 to 2 milligrams. We didn't have the toxicity 100 years ago that we have today. I believe the average adult needs a minimum of 25 milligrams of B1, B2, B3, B6, plus all kinds of other things. And if you don't take that, you're likely, just with that deficiency, not counting vitamin C and a lot of the others, D, especially, and magnesium, etc., you're a sitting duck to break down, even with just living in today's toxic environment. Remember, 65% of our rainwater has Roundup in it. Roundup is a metabolic poison. It kills bees, and long term it kills people. There's an old principle that if a lot kills you in a short period of time, a little bit will do it over a long period of time. And so back in January, just as a test, I gave myself a provocative chelation test. That's 1 gram of DMSA, an oral chelating agent, just to check what came out in the urine. And guess what? I'm loaded with lead and bismuth and high levels of barium and thallium. Now, I live on a farm. We haven't used a poison on my farm in 45 years. And yet I'm exposed to it out of the air and traveling. And the greatest source today of barium is not in the X-ray department of hospitals. It's in diesel fuel. And I have known for years that when I get on a plane, I can smell the diesel fuel even before they turn on the engine. So we are bombarded with all of these extra toxins. And so to me, being prepared beyond day-to-day food is day-to-day supplements. And the minimum to me is 25 milligrams of a good B complex with some trace minerals and things like that, plus 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, plus a minimum of 5,000 units a day of D3. Now that's just sort of basic, just to provide optimal health right now without being in a catastrophic situation.
And just like I say, we need to stock up on that, because once things go south, your local store probably will be out of stock and you won't be able to get online to place an order. You
bet. And of course, I strongly recommend that you actually get yourself a vacuum packer. There are 2 kinds of vacuum packers. There are the plastic bags that you can vacuum pack in, and that's fine. Or you can do up to 2-quart jars with a regular canning top. And when you vacuum pack something like that, it will last a minimum of 10 years. And so I strongly recommend that people have available all of their essentials. Now, there are certain medications, if you really require them, that may require refrigeration, and that's another story. But at least be prepared with optimal health-enhancing supplements.
This is John Regan with Dr. Norman Shealy. We'll be back after these few messages.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago, I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallet, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor, period. With packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
There are hundreds of silver products on the market today, but there's nothing like the astonishing health benefits of the multi-patented One Silver Solution. Boost your immune system at a great price with our Silver Solution Liquid, starting at $12.95 a bottle. Now available in regular and extra strength. That's half the price of the leading competitors. Call 844-USILVER for your free catalog, or go to OneSilverSolution.com. OneSilverSolution.com. There is only one Silver Solution.
This is John Regan at the controls today, sitting in for Vincent while he gets work done on his farm, preparing it for winter. And have Dr. Shealy with us on Wednesday. And as I was learning things, I think one of the first things I came across was this discussion about a Senate report from 1936 saying that the soils were depleted of minerals. So it's not like this is anything new. And it certainly hasn't gotten any better. And in addition to stocking up on our vitamins, we need to stock up for nutrients for our plants, which we end up eating and will help with our bodies. And it's not like plants are alchemists. If the mineral's not in the soil, they can't create it.
You're totally right, John. Interestingly, John Hamaker, Hamaker, wrote a wonderful book back in the early 80s called Survival of Civilization. And he was an engineer, retired from, I think, General Motors. But when he retired, he started studying soil and, ice ages and in between. And looking back a million years, it turns out that roughly 90,000 years we have glaciation of the earth, and 10,000 we have non-glaciation. Well, we're actually a long period right now. We're 12,000, longer than average. And he pointed out that the soils were so demineralized that we could not stop a coming glaciation unless we remineralized the soils with ground up glacial rock. And of course, we're not doing that, and I've not done that. And before each glacier, there is a period of intense warming. There's a book actually by an astrophysicist called Earth Under Fire, in which he documents the periods where we have this marked increase in forest fires because of lightning and dryness and that sort of thing. So we're at a multiple crisis peak right now, and it's a question of which one gets worse first.
I talked about an article Monday that had a chart in there for the temperature and CO2 for the last 400,000 years, not just the 2,000 that you normally see by all the climate alarmists. And when you look at the long-term chart, to me, it looks a whole lot like an EKG with a heartbeat. It's got that peak. It goes down, stays down for a long period of time, goes back to that peak and repeats until we get to our current situation where we're at that peak, where it's at that point where it should be coming down, And what it's been doing is going sideways. And when I see that in a financial chart, that tells me that we're building up momentum and it's going to break out. Whether it goes to the top or the bottom, we have yet to see. But we're currently seeing that bit of a spike with the heat. But the question is, does it then turn around? Because we've also got the sun cycle to consider in this too. And does that come back and we go into that, ice age period again? So, we're in for an interesting ride regardless.
Well, that's the truth. And the question is not just climate, of course. I think we've also reached a peak probably in all millions of years of history of political and financial instability.
Well, let's just hope we've reached peak stupidity.
You got it. So the question is not whether, but when the real crisis in finances will begin. You got any strong answers to that one?
Actually, that's something I presented at the last expo. Is I was able to go in, and I just found out this number like 2 weeks before the expo, and I was still in shock when I was delivering it. If you take total income as, and I base that off of the IRS tax stats, and that's growing about 2% a year, and you look at government spending, which is growing about 4% a year, and I'll discuss the rest of it when we get back from this break.
We've been patiently waiting while you tried to ignore us, waiting while you acted like we didn't exist, waiting for our chance to be taken seriously. The wait is over. GCN is available 24/7 at GCNlive.com. Navigate through news from your favorite hosts and download archives of past shows. Download the app on your smartphone or tablet, or visit GCNlive.com for instant access and live streaming. GCNlive.com, the future of talk radio, now at your fingertips.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically. And Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2015 for 30% off of your entire order. And give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody wants to ban the rebel flag. Well, the rebel flag is an important part of American history. The rebel flag is still a long-standing symbol of Southern pride and Southern heritage. So if the big retailers want to play into political correctness and try to deny the history of America, let them. Go to ourflags.com. That's R like rebel, R, the letter R, ourflags.com. Get your rebel flag before they actually do outlaw the things, huh? Ourflags.com. That's ourflags.com. Go now.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
In the U.S. alone, a home invasion occurs every 13 seconds. On top of that, the average response time for 911 is over 15 minutes. That just won't cut it. Don't allow yourself or the important people in your life to be victims. When seconds matter, don't be caught stumbling for your firearm. Get the protection you deserve. Get yourself a hidden holster from hiddenholster.com. It's the original hidden holster. The hidden holster is quick, easy, and convenient. It's versatile enough for the home, workplace, or virtually anywhere else you might need it. Have peace of mind with your firearm close by at all times. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. If you own a firearm, you need a hidden holster. Your protection matters, and self-defense is the best defense. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. The original hidden holster.
This is John Regan here at the controls, and finish up on the answer here. I really need to do a post on this because it's I think it's a whole lot easier if you get to see the chart. So we've discussed, I took three variables. One is total income based off of IRS tax stats, and since 2008, that's been growing at about 2% a year. Government spending has been growing about 4% a year. That's total federal, state, local spending. And then I'm looking at what our debt is costing us, because the United States is $100 trillion in debt, or excuse me, the world's $100 trillion in debt. 60 trillion of that belongs to the United States. And I've got good documentation on what the interest is on that. What I don't have is how much we're spending on principal. So I estimated that at 3%, which I'm hoping is a conservative number. That would be all debt taking about 30 years to pay off. And as you know, most debt is scheduled to be paid off before that. And debt has been growing at about 4% a year since 2008. So I plugged that into a model, and just those two items, government spending and debt, exceed our total national income in 2020. And obviously that's not a complete economic model. It doesn't include, food, housing, medical, all that stuff. So obviously we can't get to 2020 without having some serious problems. Now, in my way of thinking, maybe we can get halfway there before we get that bug hit the windshield moment. So we're in 2015, halfway there would be halfway through 2017. And then I look at history, and before we see that bug hit the windshield moment in the past, we've had a period of typically 3 or 4 years where the pain starts and it keeps on increasing at an increasing rate until things crash. And backing up 3 years would be 2014 and a half. And that's about the time we started seeing the negative interest rates and all these commodities crashing. So I believe we're already in that period where things are working up. I would be surprised if we don't see some kind of correction in the market, the September-October timeframe. I think the question is going to be, what does it look like? Is it going to be like a 1987 crash? Will it be like a 1929 crash, or could it be even worse? And we don't have to wait too long to find out what the answer to that is going to be. So, in answer to your question, we don't have a lot of time, and right now is the best time to buy things because, one, you got sure of availability, and two, a lot of things, even though we're seeing commodities crashing in price, because of the way the economy is going, there's a lot of things that the price is going up on. And when it comes to what you're going to need in the future, I think a lot of those prices are going up. So, best advice I can say is get ready now.
Well, obviously, having adequate food and supplements and whatever emergency and protection items you need is top for everybody. But let's go for a moment, because this is something that's interested me for at least the last 50 plus years. If you have a surplus above day-to-day needs and protection needs, where do you invest it? Now, I can tell you my theory since 1966, after studying the stock market for 2 years, investing in all kinds of advisory newsletters and so on. I did my first investment in stock on a Friday. On Monday, the stock market crashed. And ever since then, I personally have invested only in gold and silver. It's a long-term haul, but at least to me, you've got a better chance of surviving your assets there than you could have in stocks unless you are a supernatural person monitoring the stock market hour to hour.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the lesson we just learned from China. It's pretty easy to make money when the bubble's being inflated, but when that bubble pops, you tend to lose money a whole lot faster than you made it.
Right. And of course, it looks to me as if the evil empire has manipulated both gold and silver more in the last decade, but probably in the last 5 years than ever in history.
One of the things I'll be talking about Monday, it's a new record. There's, I believe it's 124 contracts for every ounce of gold.
Right.
So, you can only deliver to one of those 124.
That's not even 1%.
No, it's not.
And yesterday, the Canadian dollar crashed to 75 cents, the lowest in 11 years. And what is wrong with Canada that it is behind this crazy country?
Well, I think the problem with Canada is they don't have as good a liars as they have in our government.
Are good crooks, you mean?
I can't believe some of the things that I see in these reports that the government puts out. And the last week, we had the trustee report for Medicare and Social Security. And you go in and you start looking at the numbers, and I guess first problem is you need to have enough education to understand what the numbers are saying. But then when you understand that, it's almost hilarious if it wasn't so serious.
Well, what's interesting to me is the word trust that you just said. The so-called Medicare trust doesn't even exist. The Social Security trust doesn't exist. I mean, a trust, I expect to have something in the bank.
Yeah, all it does is that in order to get cash to pay the benefits, they have these IOUs that they have to make public debt. And they, proudly talk about how the debt owed to the public is less than 100% of GDP. Well, that's only when you don't count, what they've stolen from Social Security and Medicare in order to make the, annual budget seem better. There's never been a surplus. There was 1 year we just about broke even at the end of the Clinton years when the tech bubble was being blown. But if you take out what they've stolen, the deficits were even larger. And that's one of the lessons I had to learn back in the 90s. I was looking at, they say we got this surplus, but the debt keeps on going up. How can that be?
It's a lie. I mean, that's all you could say. A lie is still a lie by any other name.
And it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, it's not a political thing. They both do it.
And did you see the latest about Rubio? He supports government regulations that actually support the sugar industry. The government should be supporting any industry. That's a conflict.
And sugar is so good for your health, too.
Right. I mean, I can't think of one thing that I like about government. I didn't hear any response.
That might be a contest we could run. What do you like about government?
We had a politician speak at the meetup Monday night, and I left finally, and I said to Vince, he didn't improve my impression of government. And he was one of the better guys.
Oh, boy. I guess kind of related to that brings to mind, you were talking about how the glaciers remineralize the soil. Well, that's on the longer scale. On the shorter scale, you look at, like the Nile Valley, which is one of the fertile places in the world. And it was the annual flooding that would remineralize the soil there. Well, what does government do in their wisdom? They put in all this flood control. So now you don't refertilize the soil and have to do all this artificial stuff.
That's another failure of government.
Yeah,
that's the way you look at it.
Sometimes I think we need to be thankful we don't get all the government we pay for.
Oh, well, let's talk about what people can do on a day-to-day basis to detach. Although I criticize government, although anytime I think about it, I could go off the deep end, I actually have to say that I don't spend 1% of my day playing broken records about the government. The reason is it's not good for you. The number one thing you need to do is detach from those things you cannot change and prepare for those things that you hope don't occur.
And it's time's just flying.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
KDArmor.com is your one-stop shop for the most affordable body armor period, with packages starting at $169.99 and free shipping on every order. KD offers soft armor and rifle threat rated armor up to level 4. Go to KDArmor.com and get your body armor today while you still can. Mention this ad and receive a free tactical scarf for a limited time with any body armor package. That's CATIarmor.com. Come and take it.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Quantitative easing, unemployment at depression levels, Europe financial system falling apart, China getting out of U.S. treasuries. At the end of 2008, the time of TARP, the national debt was at $11 trillion, gold trading around $850 per ounce. Close to 2012, the national debt exceeded $16.4 trillion, gold doubled to $1,600 per ounce. The $20 trillion threshold for the national debt is inevitable. Politicians in Washington have a ferocious appetite for spending and stimulus. What's worse, a printing press to finance. 100 years ago, we had a gold standard to limit this madness, but now you have to adopt your own gold standard. Don't be fooled with paper promises. Get Midas Resources 10 Reasons to Buy Gold free by calling 800-686-2237. Understanding the gold and silver market may be the only insurance you could have to avoiding the next economic crisis. Call 1-800-686-2237 and order your free copy. Again, that's 800-686-2237.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting GoBerkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
You pick up the receiver with your heart racing and sweat dripping from your forehead. You finally muster the courage to dial the number to call into your favorite talk radio show. It rings once, twice, and then...
Hello, it's GCN. What's your name and the state you're calling from?
Surprised you got through, you squeak out.
Jason from Minnesota.
Please hold.
As you patiently wait for your turn, you begin to daydream about being a famous talk radio host and what it would be like to have your own show.
Jason from Minnesota, you're up.
Millions of loyal listeners worldwide waiting to call and talk to you.
Caller, are you there?
Cheering crowds surround you, calling out your name.
Jason! Jason! Going once, twice. Okay, we gotta move on to the next caller.
You blew it.
Huh? Wait, no!
Interact with the host you're listening to right now, online at GCNlive.com. Click on the community link. Engage with other listeners. Ask questions. Start debates. Don't agree with the host? Let them know. Be a part of the community at GCNlive.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Well, while Vincent is outstanding in his field, I'm here taking care of the show, John Regan with Dr. Norman Shealy. I got an email this morning, and if you go to normshealy.com, you can sign up for Dr. Shealy's newsletter. And the one this morning, great segue from government, dogs, wolves, and psychopaths.
And guess where the government fits. Wolves and psychopaths, it's a toss-up.
So do you want to tell us about psychopaths?
Yeah, it's interesting, John, that all of the psychological emotional disorders, even what I would call simple schizophrenia, everything from ADHD and autism, depression, anxiety, all that, including what I call simple schizophrenia, all have a deficiency in oxytocin, the nurturing, the bonding, the moral hormone. But psychopaths run an excess of oxytocin because they are so in love with themselves that they produce a huge excess. And of course, psychopaths are the people who murder you, rape you, rob you without conscience. And wolves, interestingly, do not ever develop bonding with human beings, even generation after generation raised in captivity. Although the fourth generation, I think it is, of foxes will become bonded. But so basically, psychopaths are pretty much like wolves in the wild.
Yeah, I was looking up to try and see what's the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath. And
I make a difference.
What I got is a psychopath was born that way, where a sociopath was a product of environment. Other than that, there's not much difference. What's your understanding?
Well, that's pretty much true. I make the difference that a sociopath will rob you without conscience, but a psychopath will murder you or rape you without conscience.
That's awfully comforting. So, I don't know if you saw where somebody from the District of Criminals yesterday wished himself happy birthday multiple times on Twitter. Do you think that's a little narcissistic? Oh, okay. Looks like we lost Dr. Shealy. We'll try to get him back, and we're getting close to a break anyway. There's some things that I want to get into. I understand they talked about their experiment with diatomaceous earth, the meetup, and I want to hear the results on that. And I've got a number of items from my health section that I talk about on Monday that I haven't gotten to, and get into a little bit about what's going on with the dead doctors, and it appears that there actually is a connection with some of them, and it's about a compound called GCMAF, which
John, I got disconnected, but I'm back.
Okay. Well, I was just going over some.
The government heard me.
Yeah, I mean, I was just talking about, the dead doctors. And, we're not going to have time to talk about it before we hit the top of the hour here. In fact, there it is. We'll get to that when we come back.
Yeah.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MyTV. 1-855-905-MyTV.
All right, so suddenly Walmart, eBay, Amazon, everybody wants to ban the rebel flag. Well, the rebel flag is an important part of American history. The rebel flag is still a long-standing symbol of Southern pride and Southern heritage. So if the big retailers want to play into political correctness and try to deny the history of America, let them. Go to ourflags.com. That's R like rebel, R, the letter R, ourflags.com. Get your rebel flag before they actually do outlaw the things, huh? Ourflags.com. That's ourflags.com. Go now.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting. And they're getting worse. That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays. Exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
This is John Regan sitting in for Vincent today. Might say it's the three of us, me and Smith and Wesson. Have Dr. Shealy, and we were getting ready to talk about those dead doctors. And before we get into that, could you just briefly talk about when you had your obituary published?
Well, that goes back to 1960. There was going on at the Mass General Hospital, there was sort of some Nazi criminal research. And I brought it to the attention of the Episcopal bishop of the diocese who was on the board at Mass General Hospital. And eventually he put a stop to something like millions of dollars of research. And my obituary appeared in the Boston Globe as a warning that if I didn't stop bringing truth to the situation, I might be annihilated. And of course, they didn't go that far yet. But what's happening with this recent thing is these are all alternative physicians. That is, those who are speaking out against the system as it exists today. And they're, most of the time, they're faking the news and saying that they committed suicide. Now, the one that bothers me the most is supposedly a physician who was found in the river with a gunshot wound to his chest. And I don't know people committing suicide by putting a gun to their chest. Maybe it happens, but I've never heard of it. So I've told all my friends in my family, if I'm found mysteriously murdered, it was murder, because there's no way in God's earth I would commit suicide.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like those Arkansas suicides where, like people...
In the Clinton administration, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's face it. Psychopaths do exist, and in my opinion, we've got the greatest percentage of psychopaths running the country that we've ever existed in any country anywhere in the world.
I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Ted Brower.
I don't know him, no.
Okay. He's not a medical doctor, but his formal training basically has him in a position where he understands nutrition better than most medical doctors, which, given the state of medical school, that's not too hard to do.
Right.
And the first time I was introduced to him, not personally, but as on stage, was at a thing called Success 96 back in Houston. And that's where I first learned about fluoride and the importance of drinking, good water. And he recently did an interview with Doug Hagman, and he'd discovered a connection between many of these dead doctors. with a compound called GCMAF. And he spent about 13 hours researching that. And he really wanted to get that out because he was concerned for his health, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And just when the show was getting ready to air, which is on Blog Talk, they got hit with such a devastating denial of service attack, it brought down the entire Blog Talk system, not just Hagman's show. So it took them an hour to get on the air, but they were able to get the information out. And I don't know if you're familiar with GCMAF.
I know of it, but I'm not familiar enough to talk about it scientifically.
Well, just to, get the brief gist that I got, GC is a compound your body has. When it's mated with vitamin D3, you get this microphage, which is the GCMAF. Apparently, when vaccines are given, and this doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to a significant number, it damages that GC that your body makes so that it can't mate with the D3. And the more I look into GCMAF, I'm kind of wondering if this isn't something that the elite have had for years, because it apparently works with the immune system and wipes out a lot of problems. If you want to, research that for give you a starting point, if you go to my website, thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, and go to the news tab, in the health section for Monday, I've got some links about that, and you can, probably get you up to speed a lot better than me, since I don't have any med school background. But, it's just one of those things that, here you have a compound that's probably, as good for you and as natural, and if your body's allowed to make it. And I'm looking at things like in the past with, Royal Raymond Rife, where you had, the frequencies, which, makes perfect sense. If you have a harmonic resonance, that, destroys the pathogen that's on that other resonance. But we're not allowed to have these for our health.
Yeah, interestingly, I cannot find any evidence that GCMAF has actually been clinically used to treat anybody. There's some Japanese papers that claimed that it had, but actually most of those were even retracted after publication. And it as far as I can tell, there's no known reports of an outcome study. Now, there may be, in secret, of course, some that have been done, but I am not aware of a published data. It is known to exist in healthy, normal people, but as far as giving it and whether the evil empire can stockpile it and take it, it's not proven that it's available to take orally or by injection.
And I understand that. And again, I'm just doing some speculation here. It's not proven, but it's got that suspicious smell to it.
Right. I understand. There are 60 reports on PubMed about it, but all of them are basic research, not anything to do with, giving it to people.
Well, let's shift gears a little bit. I know that you've been working with people locally there with diatomaceous earth, and you had some results that you talked about at the meetup.
Yeah, interestingly, most people were taking huge amounts, 2 and 3 tablespoons a day. I take 1 teaspoon, and I do feel that it is good. And everybody, by the way, nobody reported a negative response except 1 or 2 people, if they took too much, did get diarrhea. But actually, for people who have constipation, it's wonderful. And I think there's just no question. Some people reported an increase in energy, as did Vincent. But most people just reported improved digestion and bowel function. And so I certainly am grateful that Vinny brought it to my attention. I was aware of it, but, I hadn't thought about playing with it. But it looks to me as if it's one of those things that can improve the digestive system in general, particularly good for people with irritable bowel who have bouts of diarrhea alternating with constipation, that sort of thing, and safe. And from a theoretical point of view, just a little bit, maybe a teaspoon a day would be adequate to clear the intestines over a period of time of parasites.
Yeah, that's what I was using it for, just to make sure that I could keep my system as parasite-free as possible without using. I know there's more harsh things out there like black walnut. If you know you have a parasite problem, wasn't sure if I did or not, so I'm just trying to be a little bit proactive there. And what I like to do in the mornings is make up a cocktail. I've got this vitamin C powder with rose hips. I've got MSM. I've got my DE, and I'll just make a cocktail out of that. And I also use serapeptase, which helps keep things like inflammation and blood clots in check. So, that's one of my secrets.
Right. Well, before the break, we were talking about things we talked about minimum supplements and as well as obviously good food. But there are a few other things that I think people ought to think about, and that's how do you avoid getting hung up on all the negative stuff in the world today? And my number one way of avoiding getting hung up on the negative stuff in the world is I don't watch television. Every once in a while, if I really got nothing else to do on a Monday night, I watch Antiques Roadshow, which I find sort of funny to watch. It's almost like a comedy to me that they claim some of these things are worth what they are. But other than that, I don't really watch television because I've not seen enough good on it that I'm willing to waste my time trying to find something. I haven't been to a movie in 25 years or more.
And we'll pick up after the break. It's John Regan with Dr. Norman Shealy.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Okay, honey, I have to ask, and be honest here. Have you been taking a little blue pill? Because things have been pretty good in the bedroom lately.
No, I swear.
You didn't pick anything up at the Pharmacia last month in Cancun?
No.
Well, something's different.
I have been taking that heart and body extract you bought me.
But that's for your heart and to control your cholesterol.
Well, I read HB extract also promotes healthy prostate function.
I never guessed it would work this well, but
You're glad it did.
Oh, yeah.
Heart and Body Extract is a 100% organic formula that promotes a strong heart, healthy arterial flow, better circulation, improves erectile and prostate gland function, and provides youthful energy, strength, and stamina. Find out more at heartandbodyextract.com. Heart and Body Extract paired with healthy heart choices is a winning combination. Call toll-free to order or for free information. 1-866-295-5305. 1-866-295-5305.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting. And they're getting worse. That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays. Exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Affordable health insurance was the promise of Obamacare, but for many, the government mandate caused more problems than it solved. And I want to tell you about a truly affordable alternative, Liberty HealthShare. Liberty HealthShare bypasses doctor and hospital panels, giving you the freedom to choose. 100% coverage up to $1 million per year per occurrence, who includes dental, vision, pharmacy, and holistic care. Call 1-800-714-6993. 1-800-714-6993. 1-800-714-6993 today.
It's John Regan at the controls today. We have Dr. Norman Shealy, and we were talking about basically coping with what's going on. And that reminds me a little bit. When I was at the Pentagon, I was working in the nuclear planning system, and when your job is nuclear war, you have to have some pretty good coping skills, or you would turn to some serious things like alcohol or drugs. And I think a lot of us in that office had a good sense of humor, or some might consider it a bad sense of humor. I remember one of the guys took the bottom out of a Coke can and filled it with M&Ms, and he carefully placed it on the desk, so if he picked it up, these M&Ms just went all over the place. And a lot of us picked up this pad of Post-it notes that was up in the gift shop at the Pentagon that said, "In case of nuclear war, disregard this message."
Well, there are many ways of coping with stress. And the simplest, the single most studied, is something I call autogenic training. Autogenic training was developed in 1912 by a German psychiatrist, Johann Schultz. By 1969, the first of 6 volumes on autogenic training was published with 2,600 scientific references. And it has been shown throughout many decades to help a minimum of 80% of people with any stress disease. So it has more studies behind it than meditation and all the other forms of things that have come along in the last 40 years. It's very simple. It takes 18 minutes a day, and people who will practice it are more at peace. I took it up in 1972 because I saw the benefits in my patients. Now, there are many other things that can help, and the second most important from my point of view, in addition to something like autogenic training, is physical exercise. I get up every morning and I do an average of 90 minutes of physical exercise. Now, I'm not saying everybody can or will do that, but if you don't do 30 minutes, you're already stressing yourself more just because of not burning up some of the stress chemicals with physical activity. That's what physical activity does. It burns up the excess stress hormones and brings you back to balance or homeostasis.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do. My problem has been with my back, is I can't last that long before the pain is too much, just doing things.
John, have you ever tried a posture pump?
I'm working on that now, and I am showing some improvement.
Good, because it is the simplest thing. I've done several research projects on it, and it's safe, and it does seem to be of value to a lot of people. Now, do you have a swimming pool?
We do have, we're in an apartment complex now, and we do have a swimming pool available.
Okay, can you go into the swimming pool and try just walking first? Because I bought myself a 5-foot deep hot tub. Now, I'm only about 5'8" inches tall, so 5 feet deep. And of course I can't run the water to the top. I have to have it about 6 inches below. But it comes up to the bottom of my neck, at the top of my chest. And I can go in there and jog for 30 minutes. Fast as I couldn't possibly run as fast on land. And it is so much less painful or stressful than jogging on land. And so walking in the swimming pool could be a great boon to someone like you. And if you can do a little bit of jogging, that would be even better.
One thing I do know is all that chlorine's not good for you. Is there anything that can be done to help remediate that?
Oh boy, unfortunately, I do not know. Of course, in my hot tub, I do not use chlorine. I use copper. There's a long, history of a certain amount of copper being antibacterial. And of course, I always take a shower myself, and I'm the only one using it, so I only have to change it twice a year.
Yeah, one of the hazards of not owning your own pool. So, John Regan, Dr. Holmes, back after this message.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
In the U.S. alone, a home invasion occurs every 13 seconds. On top of that, the average response time for 911 is over 15 minutes. That just won't cut it. Don't allow yourself or the important people in your life to be victims. When seconds matter, don't be caught stumbling for your firearm. Get the protection you deserve. Get yourself a hidden holster from hiddenholster.com. It's the original hidden holster. The hidden holster is quick, easy, and convenient. It's versatile enough for the home, workplace, or virtually anywhere else you might need it. Have peace of mind with your firearm close by at all times. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. If you own a firearm, you need a hidden holster. Your protection matters, and self-defense is the best defense. Go to hiddenholster.com. That's hiddenholster.com. The original hidden holster.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting, and they're getting worse. That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays, exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to produce an endless supply of nano-sized silver solutions right from the convenience of your home. Silver Lungs. With the addition of our unique lung delivery system, respiratory infections are targeted directly, where traditional oral administration simply cannot reach. This pioneering method also preserves the original particle sizes and delivers your silver solution directly into the bloodstream. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Thousands of people seeking home security get ripped off every day, and the home security industry wants you to believe that's your only option. They've got hordes of salesmen out there trying to scare you into signing one of their long-term contracts. You get stuck writing huge checks month after month with no way out. It's robbery by contract, and it can cost you thousands. But there's a better way to protect your home. Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe has no contracts. None. You'll get award-winning 24/7 protection. Security professionals watching over your home, ready to instantly send police to the rescue for just $14.99 per month. That's less than half what most companies charge. Protect your home the smart way. Visit simplysafedefense.com today for an exclusive 10% offer and get a free keychain remote worth $25. Only when you go to simplysafedefense.com. simplysafedefense.com.
Right now, Vincent is at the controls of his farm, getting things ready for winter. It's John Regan with Dr. Norman Shealy. I don't know if you saw, this is another article that I have on my website from Monday. There's a show in Britain called Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, and they did some research on oil, cooking oil, and came out with some answers that they really weren't expecting. And it kind of reminded me a little bit about how, I think it was the 60s, maybe the 70s at the latest, when it came out of Senator McGovern's committee, our food pyramid, and their theory was it's fat that makes you fat. And that food pyramid, I learned, was not put together by doctors. It was put together by lawyers. So we had this carb-based food pyramid, and look at all it did for us. And we get into, our normal modern times, and we're looking at what oil should we be using. And I've pretty much gotten down to butter, coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil. And this study surprised them, surprised me too, is that you're actually better off cooking with olive oil, and you only need the regular olive oil, not the extra virgin, than you are with sunflower oil.
I'm with you. You're exactly the conclusion I came to actually in the mid-60s.
And this
oil is worth cooking.
Because, like I said, we're not going to have that grocery store available to us or the supplements from the health food store. And those essential fatty acids are like I said, it's essential. It's precursors to hormones, and if you don't have the building blocks, your your body can only do so much to make up for the deficiency. And in our American diet, as it currently is, we get way too much of the omega-6s, not enough of the omega-3s. But it's kind of like the good news is, when you've got the pastured grass-fed animals, you've got the free-range, eggs, and you eat fish, you start getting more of those omega-3s. And whereas it's pretty easy to stock up on carbs and protein, for food storage, you just can't do the same thing with fat. So you need to have those considerations to how are you going to get that fat in your diet in order to stay healthy.
I want to mention something that's not talked about very often, and that is canning, old-fashioned canning in glass jars. It's something my grandparents did, my parents did, and I've done now for 50 years. You can can meat of all kinds. Now, it takes a little longer, a little more pressure, 15 pounds in 90 minutes, but it'll last for at least 5 years, canned. And that's longer than the all-metal cans that you can buy in grocery stores. And so, one of the things that I often do is when we have like a turkey or even sometimes a leftover chicken, since I live alone, I can can all the excess and it's available and we don't have to worry about losing electricity, in order to have it usable.
When I was living there in Springfield, the local university was on the news one morning, talking about if you do your own canning and you have the type that has the gauge on it.
Right.
That, you should take that into them so you make sure it's calibrated properly. Because if it's off, then you might not be reaching the right combination of pressure and temperature to make the food safe to eat.
Exactly.
So if you have that, keep in mind that, once we don't have sources like that available, you're not going to be able to calibrate that. So you're probably better off with a pressure cooker that's got the weights on it that it's going to stay the same, for the life of the unit.
Yeah, it is important that it be done properly. And I have to admit that I'm glad I wasn't in the kitchen one night when my 40-year-old pressure canner exploded. And the actual top came off and hit the ceiling. And there were peaches all over the kitchen. It took me days to get it cleaned up. But it was 40 years old and I have a new one.
Well, we've got a caller, the question for you, Kyle from Montana. And Kyle, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Shealy and John. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
How about you?
I'm doing all right, but I got a question for you, Dr. Shealy. I've been so stinking busy, I haven't had time to call in and ask you. We're moving, of course, and I've told Vince and stuff like that, and I've been having to use my hands and knees and stuff like that a lot more, and I'm ending up with just a ton of joint pain. And the only thing, I've tried turmeric, I've tried black cherry juice, but the only thing that seems to take the swelling down overnight is Advil. And I'm only taking a couple of them, but it makes a huge difference the next morning. And I'm wondering if Dr. Shealy has any ideas on what to do other than that wouldn't cost me an arm and a leg.
Well, Advil is okay for short-term use. Long-term, it has great disadvantages to many systems in the body. Aspirin is actually safer if your tummy tolerates it best or well. Now, the other thing that can help is emu oil. Emu oil is loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, and it is absorbed through the skin. It is anti-inflammatory. So just a few drops of emu oil rubbed into your hands and knees may help a bundle. Unfortunately, other than that, you could put on castor oil, but there you have to wear it all night, and you could wrap a cloth around your knees and plastic and all that, or you could put on a pair of rubber gloves with castor oil on them overnight. A little messy, but it is the only other thing that I know that could be of help.
Okay. One other quick question. When you're dealing with, you said short-term use for Advil, would you think, 3-4 months of that straight would be all right, or is that considered long-term use?
As long as your intestines tolerated, it would be okay.
Okay. Yeah, it seems I have seemingly an iron stomach that way.
Well, that's good.
It doesn't bother anything. That's all I had. I just, I appreciate your program very much. And you, Dr. Shealy, you're a marvel with all the stuff you remember and know. So thanks again, and I'll hang up and, listen to the rest of the program.
Well, thank you, and have a great move.
You too. Bye.
While we're taking, issues, see if you have any recommendation. Becky's got a bone spur in her heel that's causing her some problems, and it's going to be probably a month before we can get her in to see a chiropractor that does wonders using the acupressure points on the ear. Do you have anything that might help with the pain of a bone spur?
Yeah, here's a place where I definitely would use castor oil. She could put a little 4x4 sponge soaked in castor oil on it, and put on a pair of socks, and then a plastic cover over that, and another pair of socks so that if she stands and walks, she won't slip and fall. That's the only local thing that I can think of that could be of significant help. It tremendously cuts down on inflammation and irritation.
Okay. And I just want to throw in before we get further down the road here. We were talking about oils, and of course, once you don't have that grocery store available, you don't have many options. So you're either going to have to render the fat out of the animals, where you get the lard or the tallow from, or and while it says it's not a great oil, you could raise sunflowers and press the oil out of them. Most of us aren't fortunate enough to live in an area that has olives or coconuts where we can make our own good coconut or olive oil. Are you still with us, Dr. Shealy? So we'll try to get Dr. Shealy back, and in the meantime, I'll see if I can find some other health things here. One of them, this is from...
Hello, John. I'm back.
Yes.
The lightning took my phone out again. We're having a huge storm down here. We've had 1.1 inches of rain overnight, and I think we're going to have another inch by the end of this hour.
Yeah, we haven't gotten rain here in over a month now.
Oh boy, we got 10.1 inches in July. Hello?
Yes, we had a record month in May, and
wow.
Had flooding and all of that, and since then it's at least we're getting some of those lake levels down to normal now. Some of them were more than 20 feet above normal.
Well, it's feast or famine when it comes to rain most places around the world, I suspect, but especially here in California.
Oh, we have another caller, Sherry from Kansas. Sherry, you're on with Dr. Shealy.
Hi.
Good morning.
John, I wanted to tell you how I got relieved of bone spur.
Okay.
It's probably been...
Hold on. We're getting ready to go into a break.
Yeah, we want to hear that. I'll pass it on.
We'll be back in just a few minutes.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Now, a twice as nice Twin Kit special offer from Complete H2O Minerals for all GCN listeners. Get a Complete H2O Minerals Twin Kit with 33 different minerals, vitamins, and amino acids all in a liquid form. Enough for 2 people for 1 month. Regular price $89.95, but now Complete H2O Minerals is offering the Twin Kit for $69.95. And all GCN listeners receive a bonus 16-ounce bottle of Ionic Silver absolutely free with free shipping. A $120 total value. Hurry, limited time offer. Call 803-794-4767 or click CompleteH2OMinerals.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hi, this is Walt Augustinowitz. I'm the founder and CEO of ID Stronghold. By now you've heard our commercials about wallets that protect you from electronic pickpocketing. 10 years ago I created a way to protect my own cards from prying eyes after government officials started talking about issuing a national ID card with a built-in radio chip called RFID. I felt having to broadcast my personal information was an invasion of privacy. Soon after, it was also announced that credit cards, debit cards, U.S. passports, hotel room keys, and even transit passes would all soon incorporate RFID. It was then I formed ID Stronghold to share my inventions in blocking RFID signals with the world. There are a lot of misconceptions out there today about RFID. I encourage everyone to get informed and get protected. Please go to idstronghold.com and get the facts and the wallet, sleeves, or badge holders you need to protect your personal financial data. You'll be pleasantly surprised that through our direct sales model, you won't pay more than other comparable unprotected wallets. It is as though the protection is free. Visit idstronghold.com today.
We've all heard the news stories. Another shooting. And they're getting worse. That's why Infidel Body Armor introduces Infidel Fridays. Exclusive 24-hour insider deals to save you money and possibly save your life. Make it a favorite when you log on to InfidelBodyArmor.com. Then be sure to visit each and every Infidel Friday to get special insider pricing, but for 24 hours only. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Infidel Body Armor. Just won't quit.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Regan of the financialstateoftheunion.com. We have Dr. Norman Shealy of normshealy.com. Those links, along with the rest of the instructors, can be found on usaprepares.com. That's USAPREPARES. Okay, Sherry, please continue.
Yes, this has been more than 10 years ago that I never really got it diagnosed, but I've been a fan of Dr. John Wright for a long time, and I had about 4 of his books. So I looked up in them and for something that felt like, a bone spur in my heel, and he said B12 deficiency. So, and he talks about taking B12 shots, but I decided to try a real high potency sublingual B12, and it was like taking a pain pill. And I started off taking about 3 a day, interspersed, and then in a few weeks I was down to 1 a day, and I don't even take them every day now. But and then you have to make sure you're taking a B complex too with it. But it was amazing, and I never missed a day of work. And I was working a construction job, and it really was like taking a pain pill.
Okay.
And then the other thing I wanted to tell you about, there's a gentleman that I first heard him on Joyce Riley's show, but his book is, him and his wife wrote it, and they're both physical therapists and trainers, and they both injured their backs when they were teenagers. But he went on to be a bodybuilder, and it probably kept him out of the Vietnam War because he wasn't supposed to lift more than 35 pounds. But it's your body, your responsibility, and then the website is yourbodyyourresponsibility.com. But I learned more about body mechanics, and I'm just a layman. Reading that book, and they have stretches on a DVD that they show you how to do, and I had soreness in my arm that just wouldn't go away in my forearm, and for more than a year I couldn't massage it out. I did his stretch, and it went away immediately. I mean, there's stretches that I never learned when I was running track, and he works with doctors that work in sports medicine and too, but that book cost me like $37, but it was one of the best investments I ever made.
Okay.
So.
Is that everything?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you very much for the call.
That's great. And in fact, I just looked it up on the internet, and a B12 deficiency has been associated with heel spurs. So worth thinking about, John. Incidentally, the sublingual methyl B12 is much better than any other form of B12.
Okay. We also have another call. See if we can work him in here. Shannon from Montana. Shannon, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to mention canning. I have canned for like 33 years at least, and we use stuff that's even 10 years old as long as it's still sealed, like meat. Fruit starts to deteriorate after a few years. It gets pale and stuff. Also, I was thinking for fats, I can chicken broth, but I cook it with the skin sometimes, so you get a lot of fat in there, and you can can that up. And then I was wondering what you think about lard. Old-time people used to use lard a lot.
Well, the latest study out of BBC said lard was one of the better.
Yeah, well, today, the lard you buy in grocery stores has been artificially hydrogenated, and I wouldn't go near it. But if you render your own lard from real fat, I would think it's fine.
Okay.
That's the problem. The grocery stores have put in the transvestite, I call it, lard.
Well, we're out of time. Thanks for calling, Dr. Shealy. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Honesty and integrity happens next. It's up to you.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
At 30dayfoodsupply.com, two of our top priorities are providing quality food at a reasonable price and protecting your security. When you call 800-700-2184, we will never record your phone call and never ask for your personal information, like how much food you have stored or where you keep it. We'll also never store your credit card information and email address on a computer. Your email address will never be shared or sold. We'll never limit the number of boxes you can purchase. We'll never use outside packers or use relabeled food from another company. Our meals are naturally high in fiber, carbs, and protein, and everything is packed with oxygen absorbers and Mylar pouches under our direct supervision at our plant in Oregon. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low by buying directly from their producers in Oregon and then passing the savings on to you. Call 800-700-2184 and purchase our 30-day 90-serving emergency food supply for only $99, and $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit our website, 30dayfoodsupply.com, or call 800-700-2184. That's 30dayfoodsupply.com at 800-700-2184.